Julian Assange is due back in a London court this Monday. The WikiLeaks founder faces extradition to Sweden for alleged sexual assault. His website came to prominence early last year. Well, in April, the internet group drew condemnation from the U.S. government for posting video of a U.S. military helicopter attack in Iraq that killed 2 Reuters television employees. More revelations followed. In October, WikiLeaks posted 400,000 classified U.S. military files chronicling the Iraq War. Well, it was the largest leak of its kind in U.S. military history. Then in November, a further 250,000 top-secret diplomatic cables were put in the public domain. These included candid views of foreign leaders. Well, the unrelated allegations of sexual misconduct against Assange were revealed around that time. Now, Assange denies the charges. He turned himself into London police in December after Sweden issued a European arrest warrant. And Assange's court appearance this Monday is the first review of this extradition request following the bail hearings and appeals that took place late last year. Nicole Itano is outside Belmarsh Magistrates Court in London. Nicole, how strong a case does Assange have?
Hi, Francine. Well, the hearings here are expected to take about 2 days. And as you said, the Swedes are asking for his extradition under something called the European arrest warrant. And these are notoriously difficult to fight. But I spoke yesterday to one of Julian Assange's lawyers, and he said the argument they're using is that this is an inappropriate use of the European arrest warrant because Julian Assange hasn't actually been charged for these sexual assault crimes. He's just wanted in Sweden for questioning. And they're saying this is not an appropriate use of that warrant system. But their real fear, of course, is that if he is extradited to Sweden, his lawyers say they fear he will then be extradited further to the United States to possibly face charges there related directly to WikiLeaks. When I spoke to Mark Stevens, who represents Julian Assange and also does represent Bloomberg News, he said, though, that the fact that the U.S. hasn't issued any charges yet related to WikiLeaks shows how difficult that process actually would be.
The length of time that it has taken is indicative of the difficulty that they're finding in ascertaining some kind of charge that they could throw at him. And I think that the reality is that Julian Assange has behaved just like any other journalist.
Now, the hearing today, again, will last about 2 days. We may not have a result for that for several weeks. When I spoke again to Mark Stevens, he said that may be expedited a little bit because of the intense media speculation around this. But certainly, Julian Assange, this process could take several months altogether because there's two potential appeals after that. So this is something that could wind on for quite a while.
Now, Nicole, Assange has also fallen out with some of his traditional media partners, hasn't he?
That's right. He has threatened to sue the Guardian newspaper, which is one of his main media partners here in the UK, and that is in relation to some information that came out in a book that the Guardian has published about their collaboration with Julian Assange. When I asked Julian Assange's lawyers about this and said, listen, isn't this a bit ironic that someone who is championing himself as a champion of free speech, as someone who is in favor of getting information out into the public sphere, that he's then trying to stifle the traditional media? And his lawyer said, no, we're not trying to stifle the traditional media. We're just saying that, look, if you do put information out there into the public sphere, then you must face the repercussions of that. And if that information is incorrect, which Julian Assange is claiming, then that is something that will have consequences. But of course, if Julian Assange were at some later date to face charges directly related to WikiLeaks in the United States, he still would likely have the support of his traditional media partners, of The Guardian, of the New York Times, because they will very much see this as a freedom of speech issue. And they have indicated that. But
Nicole,
certainly we have not heard the last of WikiLeaks.
No, we certainly haven't. Nicole, thank you so much. Nicole Itano there.